yesterday. I wonder if Cheltenham might be a similarly class act off a handicapper's mark of 137 in the county hurdle. What of the dangers? Well, in truth, they abound. Let's talk about Arctic Fire, if we can. 8-1 chance and second best. David Casey replacing the injured Ruby Walsh.
Yeah, I mean, he's unexposed. This is a handicap debut. The ground is fine. I think he wants good ground. You can't say the handicapper's missed him on what he's done, I don't think. But you know, he's been the sort of on fire horse for much of the week of how he was going to win this. I'm surprised he's not favourite. Apparently, although we'll wait and see what happens in the race, the top one, Dear Carly, is going to go off at a million miles an hour in order to make sure it's a properly run event. And you might think that's sort of why do they need to? But as we've seen in the past, this race and other big handicap hurdles, quite often they run at a false pace.
JP McManus has got 4 runners in the Vincent O'Brien County Hurdle. There is a shot of Arctic Fire, incidentally, on the way down. The most prominent of his in the market, a Never Enough Time and a Levan. Perhaps we can talk about Never Enough Time first of all. Ger Fox takes the ride and takes us 7. He had an unfortunate experience on Cantlow earlier in the week. Never Enough Time is now chasing the hat-trick following wins at Goran and Leopardstown. Is he still off a workable mark of 141?
I think so, because he's bolted up both times, and although it was officially heavy at Leopardstown last time suggested it wasn't anything like that. The trainer said afterwards that they had to find the right races where he didn't carry big weights, because he's not up to carrying them, and he's got 10 stone 6 in this once you take off the claim of £7.
And of the McManus quartet, AP has elected to ride the Eddie Harty train. Manila for you.
Unexposed again, handicap debut, caught the eye when he was third behind I think an owner companion last time out.
That's Never Enough Time, incidentally, having the girths attended to.
Yep, he is, and so that's Manila for you.
Okay. Can we touch on a Levan briefly, because there's another McManus runner who is prominent in the market, has been 6th in this race in the past. Cheap Pieces go on today. Of course, he was a couple of places behind Cheltenham, staying on in the latter stages of the Betfair.
Yes, exactly. So there shouldn't be a lot between them, and as you say, Cheap Pieces on for the first time. He's another one like Cheltenham who's had a very long absence until he came back this season, and he was third in the Triumph 4 years ago.
Paul Nicholls is looking for a 4th county hurdle in the last decade, still chasing that elusive first winner this week. What chance lack Fontana?
He looked disappointing earlier in the season. Even when he won here, it wasn't an impressive win, but change of tactics at the trials meeting when he was held up produced this stunning performance of where he just disposed of admittedly not as great a field of handicappers as these, but in effortless style. £12 rise, but he just looked a different horse then.
Cinders and Ashes returns to the racecourse for the first time since pulling up in the champion hurdle. It's been a long road back for him. Noel Feely, who'll be aboard Silviniaco Conti, takes the ride for Donald McCain, replacing the injured Jason Maguire. It may be not too far off a start for the Vincent O'Brien County Hurdle. They're coming in, so let's go up to the commentary box, waiting for us. Oh no, we've still got one to go down. I thought they were ready, but they're not.
Henderson horses?
George, talk about the Henderson horses.
Yeah.
Yes, where do you want to start with the Henderson horses?
Well, obviously Barry Geraghty rides Livius, who...
He does, Blinker's first time.
Yeah, you wouldn't have thought that was a sort of an obvious candidate for him, but apparently the horse has responded to Blinkers on the gallop, so they're hoping that it'll work in the race. I thought of the Henderson mob in the race that Macari, who has really sort of come on leaps and bounds this season and won, again, when we last saw him 3 months ago, defied a significant rise in the handicap to win at Doncaster. I thought he was still quite interesting.
Yeah, he's been doing it at a much lower level, admittedly, but doing it all quite effortlessly, hasn't he, the 3 times that he's won?
He has. He has.
So we await Dear Carly joining the others at the start. I thought they were all set to go.
Yeah.
Well, most of them were. Well, it was just a small fact that Dear Carly wasn't yet on the track at that stage. One horse who I thought looked really well, which is a testament to Ben Case and the team, given the busy season that he's had, was Deep Trouble.
I know it has had a really good season, but it's just it's climbed the handicap a great deal, hasn't it? Seemed to catch it out in the Betfair hurdle.
Yeah, although I would put some of that perhaps down to the ground. I don't think he appreciated it on the hurdles track at Newbury that afternoon. It rode significantly wetter than on the chase course that day.
As it always does there. There's one horse having a look out over the countryside.
That's Strong Point.
Yeah. Oh, hello.
And that's Dear Carly.
Still on his way down.
Taken steadily to post. And looks quite keen,
yes.
As though he might have been fired up for a front-running role.
Well, that's the rumour, and he's still got a furlong to go, but we'll obviously see during the race itself. Obviously, the enforced late switch of jockeys is no help to the sort of plans anyway, is it?
No, and it also slows the process up as well. Cheltenham 11-2, 15-2 Arctic Fire, 9-1 from 12-1, never enough time. Lac Fontana 11-1, same price as a Levan as Cheltenham goes 5-1. Manila for you at 12s. We haven't talked about the 20-1 chance. Flax and Flare, who of course won the Fred Winter 12 months ago. Gordon Elliott looking for winner number 2 on the day.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a most consistent horse in big handicaps as well, a lot of his runs, and we've seen already that consistently and honestly run horses can win these races.
I have breaking news for you. Paul Townend on both Briar Hill and on his own in the Gold Cup. They're coming in for the county hurdle. Let's join Mark Johnson.
Coming in at the gallop here, Flax and Flare lead them in, and they're off for the Vincent O'Brien County Handicap Hurdle Grade 3. Flax and Flare is prominent. Cheltenham taking a keen hold earlier. Levan is also prominent as they go over the first together with Rainbow Peak. At the back of the field was Morning Royalty, was absolute last over the first flight. Aparzo is also held up, so too is Deep Trouble, and on the inside Macari as they raced on the long run towards flight number 2. Master of the Game has come through to take the lead. Racing in second is Barizan in the hoops, and Rainbow Peak over on the far side. To the near side, Strong Point with the yellow cap is racing in 4th position. Cheltenham in the pale blue is also prominent together with Flax and Flare, and then the first of the JP runners, that is a Levan, followed through then towards the inside by Runswick Royal, and then towards the inside is Manila for you as they go towards flight number 2. Still last is Morning Royalty as they rise at the second of the 8 flights. Master of the Game was the leader over Rainbow Peak, who took it in second. Cinders and Ashes made a bad mistake at that flight as they make the turn going up the hill. So it is Master of the Game and Andrew Tinkler out in front. Strong Point racing in second. Rainbow Peak is in third. On the inside, Cheltenham running the rail is in 4th. Barizan is in 5th, followed in 6th by Lock Kent as they make the turn to go down the back straight. That leading group are then being followed out a little bit towards the inside by Jumps Road as they make the run now going down the back straight. So it's Master of the Game who's got the lead over Cheltenham, who cuts the corner on the inside. Rainbow Peak's racing in third, followed in 4th position, then out wide by Strong Point as they go over the first light down the back. Cheltenham made a mistake at the back of the field. Morning Royalty was a little slow. Macari is also towards the rear of the field, so too is Thomas Edison, another one who is being held up together with Aparzo, and also on the outside and a Turge as they get over the next flight, and that was flight number 4, and they were all safely over. So it is Master of the Game who still leads. Cheltenham on the inside in second. Rainbow Peak is in third. Barizan making ground, never enough time, out very wide as they crossed over that flight of hurdles. As they go on now towards the top of the hill, they're entering the final 3/4 of a mile in the county hurdle, and it is still Master of the Game who leads the parade. Racing in second on the outside is Rainbow Peak. Barizan is out wide. Cheltenham to the inside, followed by Lock Kent, who's creeping a little closer. Flax and Flare, Strong Point is next. Then after these, Thomas Edison. Then on the inside is Jumps Road as they got over the next flight. A slow jump by Macari at the back of the field is ridden along. Runswick Royal is also losing ground, so too is Cash and Go, another one being driven as they reach now the top of the hill. Trying to make ground is Manila for you through on the inside. He's followed by Zora as they make the turn with just 2 more flights of hurdles to take. Now Livius begins to pick up now in the green and yellow quarters around the wide outside. He went wide, but he's getting clear sailing around the outside of Citizenship, and then Dia Carly, who's just in advance of Arctic Fire as they make the run down the hill. So as they do so, it is now out in front, a new leader. Rainbow Peak takes the lead to Cheltennian on the inside in second. Barizan is in third. Flax and Flare is in fourth. Jumps Road is still catching the eye, and so too is a Levan. Livius is right there on the outside with Strong Point as they got over the second from home. It was just Cheltennian against the inside rail with Rainbow Peak the first two. Flax and Flare is back in third. Montbazon is staying on now in fourth. Minella for you, and then on the inside Thomas Edison as they make the turn. One more flight to take in the county, and it's Rainbow Peak, Cheltennian on the inside, Montbazon towards the near side. Livius is right towards the near side. Lac Fontana is also staying on the far right. Here comes AP McCoy on Minella for you. Still they've got a quarter mile to go. One more flight to take. Montbazon has taken the lead for Robert Thornton in second. Rainbow Peak here now staying on his Arctic Fire. He's followed by Diakali as they race down towards the last. It will just be Montbazon. Montbazon had the lead to Arctic Fire in second. Lac Fontana staying on to the near side in third. Diakali is in fourth. They've got a half furlong to go. Lac Fontana and Daryl Jacob on the near side. Just their nose in front. It's going to be tight. Lac Fontana wins the county. In second, Arctic Fire. In third, Montbazon. Diakali was in fourth. Flax and Flare in fifth. Minella for you was in sixth, and they were clear.
Finally, something goes right for Daryl Jacob, and Lac Fontana gives Paul Nicholls his first winner at the festival this week. The 11-1 chance. And Jacob takes the congratulations of all of those around him. Lac Fontana, a mistake before halfway put him on the back foot, under pressure at the top of the hill, but he responded generously to Jacob's urgings, and thankfully for Jacob this time, no tack problems. And what had been a wretched week thus far has finally come good. And they couldn't quite believe it. A long climb to the line for connections of Lac Fontana, and even the Princess Royal joining in on the celebrations.
4 seconds quicker than...
So let's take the closing stages with a time that was roughly 4 seconds quicker. The JCB Triumph Hurdle, unsurprisingly. Jonathan, 15 there with a chance, jumping 2 out. The first one to bid for glory rounding the corner was Montbazon.
It was, and if you picked out Lac Fontana, you would never really have been at all happy until about now, because he just wasn't going, and obviously a lot of them are going extremely well in front of him and all around him, but he does run on from here.
It's a fourth county hurdle in the last decade for Paul Nicholls. There's visual confirmation of the result, and Lydia is with the winning trainer.
Paul Nicholls has just said he needed that. Definitely did. You needed that. Daryl needed that. After Calypso in the first race, the week you've had. Well done with Lac Fontana.
I know it's just been so frustrating, but that's it. I mean, listen, Daryl needed that more than anybody really. He's been, you know,